Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now July 2nd of 2020, and ever since the end of the Skywalker saga, a lot of fans around the world have been very intrigued and also quite skeptical about the future of Star Wars and exactly how Bob Iger and Bob Chapek are really going to handle everything moving forward when it comes to the Disney Plus TV series and of course the new Star Wars movies that are currently in active development by Disney and Lucasfilm. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the thing about Disney Star Wars is that we do know that they are trying their best to really kind of reshape or rebrand Star Wars. They really want to evolve it as a franchise, to really push it to its limit, right? And that to me sounds very ambitious. You know, Bob Iger talked about this not long ago, that, you know, they're just figuring out exactly what they can really do with Star Wars and what they're really capable of and the potential that it really has. And the first thought that I had when Bob Iger said that at the premiere of The Rise of Skywalker is that, well, now, and only now you just figured that out? You know, I figured that they could have figured this out well before the release of The Last Jedi, but at least we are now in a position where we do have a better future of Star Wars. Number one, without Kathleen Kennedy at the helm here at the creative scale, and number two, with John, Dave, and George all working together as a team, and number three, the fact that they are going to be borrowing many elements from Star Wars Legends in the mix for this new universe. Now, with that being said, of course, what's really intriguing all has to do with creator Jon Favreau, alright? Now, with both Disney and Lucasfilm now finished with The Rise of Skywalker, they are moving on to their new Star Wars universe in general that will take advantage of borrowing many of Star Wars Legends material for the fans to enjoy around the world. Now, creator Jon Favreau is hard at work with The Mandalorian Season 2 and Season 3, and it's described that Favreau has a big plan in place in order to save the character of Luke Skywalker in several ways with The Mandalorian Season 3. Now, it's noted that Favreau plans to do something incredible with the character of Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian Season 3, which is slated for release sometime in 2021 next year. Favreau is set to bring a return of the iconic Jedi Master in the new series that will have tons of action, and that Luke will be recast with Sebastian Stan in the talks for the role, with Mark Hamill stepping in for some sequences to be de-aged in The Mandalorian Season 3. This major plan by Favreau is to turn The Mandalorian into a more Force-oriented series, rather than just a bounty hunter TV show, that will, of course, start doing this with the Season 2 of The Mandalorian. The big plan by Favreau is to also respect the character of Luke Skywalker, and that he was not happy with The Last Jedi's portrayal of the character by director Rian Johnson. So this really comes at not such of a big surprise. Favreau, we do know, is a very passionate Star Wars fan. And what's really exciting about The Mandalorian Season 3, in case you guys have been out of the loop, is that yes, it is going to take place a couple of years after Season 2. So we're going to have a Luke Skywalker in his 30s that's going to be introduced as a Jedi Master. And this to me sounds incredible. It sounds amazing, honestly. When we think about Luke, we never really got to see that portion of his life. You know, sure, we got to see him in Return of the Jedi, the very beginning of his road to becoming a Jedi Master, where Yoda tells him, you know, pass on what you have learned, and, you know, that he must face Vader, and only then that a Jedi he will be. All of that is pretty much a setup to him becoming of what we wanted to see in between the events of the originals and the sequels, and that's exactly what Jon Favreau wants to do. He wants to be the first one to do that. This is the perfect opportunity for Jon Favreau to really make the fans happy of how they were very unsatisfied with Rian Johnson's portrayal of Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi. So that to me is honestly Favreau's way of saving Luke Skywalker. This really is going to be his way of not just saving Luke, but also maybe even possibly redeeming Mark Hamill's role. Let's just get into that for a second here. So Mark Hamill is actually said to have somewhat of a role in The Mandalorian Season 3, where he's going to provide a lot of facial scans, where they're going to de-age him and such, and Sebastian Stan is in the talks to actually step in for the role of Luke Skywalker in many different ways. He does look like a young Mark Hamill, I'll give him that. You know, if you just kind of cut down the hair a little bit from the Winter Soldier movie, you know, I think that they can really do a good job with that. I really do believe so. So, the other thing that I really want to actually discuss is this going to cost too much money, alright? The digital effects of de-aging Mark Hamill could very well cost a lot of money if they introduce too much of that. It does cost quite a bit for a show that isn't, you know, as high budget as a motion picture, right? So obviously that does fall directly in line with how they're not going to use Mark Hamill as much as the recast, such as Sebastian Stan. It makes a lot of sense now. So with that being said, guys, you know, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.